If you want to email me your own confessions or stories or anything, just email it at this email address right here. But today we are going to be doing Am I the Asshole on Reddit. So let's just get straight into our first story. Got home from a horrible day at work to a note from our neighbor taped all over the front door and garage. We have a neighbor that came to our door when we first moved in. She asked if we could keep our porch light off at night. We said, yeah, no worries, and all was good. Mind you, this neighbor is not directly adjacent to us, but two houses down with floor to ceiling windows that face our yard. Our other neighbors have exterior Christmas lights that they keep on overnight. My sister put up LED lights in her room because there's no interior lighting in the upstairs bedrooms, and she also sleeps with them and uses them as a nightlight. This neighbor came in person like 6 months ago saying we needed to turn the lights off and we weren't sure what lights she was talking about. Even after asking for more clarification, we still couldn't tell. There's also a street light that shines over that corner of our house. Today she left signs all over our front door saying we need to turn off all the lights and it's extremely frustrating for her. Our sister is pissed and doesn't want to do anything about it. Are we in the wrong? I don't really understand the neighbor's deal here. She's the one that decided to buy a floor to roof window house. She could easily just buy curtains. She's just being a bitch about it. I don't know. Yo, this next one is kind of crazy. So, let me just read the title and get straight into it. Boyfriend mad at me because he opened a relationship and got no dates. Am I the asshole for how I responded? Me and my boyfriend, both 37, have been dating for just over 3 years. Prior to this, I was single for 8 years. Overall, it's been a healthy relationship. We are both independent with our jobs, living situations, etc. I do love spending time with them. I don't really have any complaints. However, something that startled me was back about 6 months ago. Him saying he wanted to open the relationship up, meaning going on dates and sleeping with other women. I've never been in a dynamic like this, so I naturally had a lot of questions. He told me that I could also go on dates and sleep with other men. Fucking cut. I honestly was a little skeptical at first, but after doing some research and having time to think, I agreed. He had told me that if at any point I wasn't comfortable, we could stop and close the relationship up again. One of the rules was we don't discuss with each other what we're doing or who we are going on dates with, etc. I signed up for a dating app. Within few days, I had 500 plus likes. Yo, and it's been pretty shady since. So I started matching with people, testing and arranging dates. On average, I go on 1 or 2 dates a month. Holy shit. There are also some people in similar dynamics of open relationships that I am going on dates with sleeping with regularly. That was not the proper fucking grammar. I quite like the fact that I don't have to commit to anything. So even though I was skeptical at first, I am enjoying the open relationship. As decided from before, I hadn't told my boyfriend about any of this. So she got 500 fucking likes within a few days and has going on 1 or 2 dates a month. And from the title of this, the boyfriend hasn't gotten one date. This this is such like karma for not being grateful for having her in the first place, bro. But I'm just gonna continue the last paragraph of this story. I was at my boyfriend's house the other day and my phone was on the kitchen counter. He saw my notifications and then proceeded to go through the phone and read messages. I feel bad, including going through the dating app and whatnot. Turned out he opened the relationship up to take out on a date a younger colleague at his workplace who misread the idea of a date as just work lunch. He then openly told me that he wanted to see if it would work out with her so he could ultimately leave me for her. However, she didn't want him and it seems like no one else did either. In the last 6 months, he's had a few rough dates, but no one additional to sleep with. I feel somewhat embarrassed for him. I do too, bro. He demanded we instantly close the relationship up, and I told him that maybe we should just end things or take a break. He was outraged and called me names. But he was the one that wanted the dynamic, so what's the problem? I left and as soon as I walked home, I completely, fully breaking it up with him. Not the grammar again, bro. He's been blowing my phone up and not quite sure what to say. Am I the asshole? I don't know what to say, bro. The top comment is you should join the rest of the population in not dating him as well. Okay, let's just move on to the next story. What the hell is that, bro? I feel bad for that guy, I'm not even gonna lie. Am I the asshole for legally dropping my hyphenated last name, which means I don't have my stepfather's last name anymore? My dad died when me, 18 male, and my siblings, 16 female and 15 male, were 5, 3, and 2. Our mom married a widowed guy with 4 kids a year later. When they got married, they decided to hyphenate all our names to be our stepfather's last name. Not all of us were on board with the idea. Me and 3 of my step siblings were against it, but the decision wasn't given to us. My siblings were adopted by our stepfather a couple of years later, and I refused to be adopted, but this time I had a say in it. Mom adopted one of my step siblings while the others wanted nothing to do with it and always hated my mom for marrying their dad. The hyphenated last name was always a source of tension between me and my mom and my stepfather. In social settings, I'd always dropped my stepfather's last name, and on informal things, I'd always do my dad's last name. It hurt my stepfather's feelings, which angered my mom. My stepfather told me often enough that it really hurt his feelings to be rejected by me. He said he loved all of us as his kids and didn't see why I couldn't respect his part in my name when he respected my dad's part in it. I told him I never wanted to change my name to begin with, and it was forced on me when I already knew what my name was. My mom never liked me bringing that up. She said kids don't get a say in adult decisions and kids don't know what's best for them. Wow, little 1950s type of parenting there, bro. She told me that I had a second dad who loved me and my siblings, and I had rejected him enough. At times, she admitted the hate she got from our stepfather's 3 kids made her more angry at me for being difficult too, even though I never hated my stepfather. But she saw it as disrespectful and intentionally cruel that I dropped his name whenever it was possible and refused to embrace having both. One time, she sat me down and asked me what my stepfather meant to me. I said he's her husband and he's an okay guy, but he'll never be my dad, and I don't think he will ever be okay based on his reaction to the name. I told her I wasn't trying to hurt anybody either, but they didn't care about my feelings when they changed my name in the first place. She told me that I don't love and appreciate him being the dad who stepped into our family and gave us extra stability. I told her I didn't love him for it, but I could respect that my siblings and her loved him and was good to them. But to me, in a way, it also wasn't really about putting me first either. She asked me what made me say that, and I said it's because y'all did what y'all wanted, making me change my name. Y'all both did. It wasn't about me or how I feel. Instead, if it'd been more about me, then I would have wanted to see if I ever wanted to add his last name. I told her all the times that he told me I hurt his feelings by not using both names. It pushed me away because he expected me to stop doing it for him, but wouldn't accept it when I told him mine. It remained a source of tension between us, and my mom took it on me a little more, never with physical abuse or anything, by the way, when 3 of my step siblings moved and told her that they wished she would drop dead and that they would shit on her grave for thinking she would ever be their mom. Whoa, whoa. She was just extra mad at me for not using the name and was even grumpier with me about it. I'm sorry for everybody in this. I don't know what the mom did to make them have such a bad reaction. I hope the best for everybody in this situation. Let's finish the story. I told them after I turned 18 I was going to change my last name to drop his name. They didn't believe me until after it was done. Wow. And it's been months now. My stepfather said he never felt as disrespected in his entire life. Mom said she was never ashamed of any of her kids like she's ashamed of me now and for doing the childish thing. She asked what sort of man didn't learn to appreciate and love the man who raised him and stood by him when he hurt his feelings over and over again. I'm happy to have my name back the way I always wanted it, the way it should have always been. I don't feel guilty about it either. I think my mom has an even bigger problem that I don't. She even commented once that it's clear I don't feel a shred of guilt for giving my stepfather the middle finger. Am I the asshole for changing my name? Am I the asshole for not feeling guilt? The top comment is imagine having 7 kids and spending your entire marriage alienating 4 of them. Yikes. Another comment is this exactly. Big, not the asshole. Read a book on step parenting. Any of them? Doesn't matter which one. They all say the same thing. The number one way to guarantee a child never accepts their stepfather is to try and force them to accept the step parent before they're ready to, or to try and force them to accept the step parent as a full parent. You can ask slash accept slash demand a kid to accept parenting from the step parent, i.e., if his stepdad tells you what to do if you have to do it, but you can't order the kid to accept to love the step parent. That has to be their choice. I wish the best for everybody in this situation, especially the stepkids, the writer, and his two siblings. I don't know where their dad. Oh yeah, their dad died. I fucking forgot. But just like that second comment I read said, you can't force the stepkids to accept her as their mother. And the same thing, you can't force your kids to accept your husband. That one is pretty emotional. I'm sorry for anybody that's watching this that's going through that. Let's move on to the next story. Someone at work stole my chair, so I had them arrested. I got a new job in sales working for a company that sells access control systems, CCTV systems, etc. The chair in my cubicle was uncomfortable AF, so day 3 I brought in my own Herman Miller. On day 4 it was missing. I looked around and another sales rep was sitting in it. I asked for it back and he basically told me to F off. I went and spoke to the owner of the company. He told me that the chairs aren't reserved. They are first come, first serve. I explained that I own the chair and it cost me $18,000. He told me that I need to come in earlier if I want that chair. It's his fucking chair. The manager can't tell you that, bro. The next day, the same guy was sitting in when I got to the office. I told him to give it back or I was going to call the cops. He refused, so I called the cops. It was quite the scene, but in the end, he admitted that he took my $1,800 chair. I was prepared. I had the receipt which showed the serial number. Yes, chairs have serial numbers. They asked me if I wanted to press charges. My boss said that if I would, I'd be terminated if I haven't arrested. So I said, absolutely, I want the press charges. My new boss had me fired on the spot, so I carried my chair out with me when I was leaving. And yes, the cops arrested the dude who took my chair. He admitted to it. The dude who took my chair has been in the industry for about 15 years, but he was going to lose his security license, which means he won't be able to work in the industry. He's going to lose his job. I don't give a shit. He shouldn't have stolen my chair. Am I the asshole for making this dude lose his job? The top comment is, due to lower back issues, I always provided my own desk chair and made sure it was clearly marked that it was my own personal property. I also used a bicycle cable lodge to secure my chair to the desk at the end of the day. One coworker had this office chair disappear, so I sent an email to the entire global company address book. It was hysterically funny to read the response emails. The second top comment says, I worked for a Canadian university that was somewhat famous for an ergonomic research center on campus. At the time I got hired, everybody on my team got fitted for a custom chair. I was not a small man, and the chair that they got me was both perfectly fit for the way I sit and the way I type. And when I looked it up online, cost about $2,500. When we went remote for COVID, I convinced him to let me take my chair home with me, and I had a friend with the pickup help. The chair has now moved with me twice, and nobody has ever asked for it back when I left. Because everybody had good chairs, though, there was never any sort of fighting over the good chairs. My boss's boss told me about the ergonomic center, did the fittings for free, and got the discounts. And he figured it was the best investment he could make to keep his employees happy. That's a good comment and all, but I want to know I want to see a comment of what they think about him getting them arrested, not their own personal experience. The third comment is, sometimes being an asshole is the correct response. Also, your boss is now out TWO workers. Another comment is, not the asshole. The fact is the guy shouldn't have been effectively stealing your $1,800 chair, and as others said, sue your company for retaliatory firing. If he lost his ability to work in the industry, that's 100% because of his actions. Am I the asshole for not wanting to raise my boyfriend's ex's kid? I, 30, female, and my boyfriend, 33, male. He has a 4-year-old daughter with his ex who I call Ashley. Ashley and I have never gotten along. She was extremely abusive to my boyfriend in the past relationship. He has told me some stuff and his family have also told me things they've witnessed. She was verbally, physically, and financially abusive. My boyfriend is in therapy to work it through and has made great progress since we started dating. She is extremely manipulative and he has continued to exploit my boyfriend the entirety of our relationship. Whenever I or his family have pointed it out, he just claims he's the bigger person for his child. We have dated for almost a year before he let me become part of his daughter's life and she adores me. Over the years, Ashley has tried a lot with me and has gotten to the point where I no longer do pickups or drop offs with her, and I no longer babysit on her court ordered days for her, which isn't very often as she takes her daughter only when it's convenient for her and rarely overnight. My boyfriend understands my feelings and is supportive. Recently, my boyfriend had to do a paternity test to enroll his daughter in a program that will benefit her future. The test came back and he is not her biological father. Wow. I was shocked as they looked so much alike. However, I understand genetics are a random lottery. I gave him space and time to accept and agree with this information. I eventually told him he will need to get legal counsel and inform the biological father if she knows who he is. He called me heartless and said that they might take her away. I told him that it wasn't my intention to hurt him, but also it's an extremely difficult situation for all parties involved. I told him it's not just up to us, and eventually that decision is up to his ex and is something that he should prepare for. It's been a week since the discussion, and I'm realizing I do not want to raise her child. My feelings of resentment stem from Ashley never having to deal with the consequences of her own actions and my hatred for her mistreatment of my boyfriend. I already have a lot of things I think about this. Negative on both sides of the story, honestly, but I'll just read the rest real quick. My boyfriend is an amazing father, and his daughter is his world. He's the sweetest, most amazing man, and I know he will raise another man's child for her, but it's something I don't want to watch up close. I told him my decision, and I have been staying with my sister. I just can't get past the destruction and hurt that woman has caused. I know it's not fair to my boyfriend or his daughter, and I just know what I can and can't handle. This was not an easy decision, but I feel it's necessary for my mental health. Am I the asshole? Yes! Yes! You are the asshole. Because if you truly loved your boyfriend, you would have helped him raise the child. Every child deserves a parent, but not every parent deserves a child, is what I think. So you shouldn't essentially be punishing the child as well by trying to make the mother, Ashley, have to take care of her. Ashley doesn't deserve to take care of her. The top comment is, this isn't a relationship for you. I completely agree. Second biggest comment. I'm gonna say not the asshole. You don't want the family he is offering. You have to give it a go, but the juice wasn't worth the squeeze. What the hell does that mean? He loves his daughter and wants to keep her. He deserves someone that gets and supports him through it. Better for both of you that you just end it so you can find out what you deserve. Yeah, this isn't a relationship for her, and she doesn't love the man enough to take care of the daughter in the first place. I know I said she's the asshole earlier. She's not completely the asshole. I just don't think that she's mature enough to be in this relationship. Okay, this is gonna be our last Reddit story. Am I the asshole for not firing the cleaning lady because my girlfriend asked me to? Throwaway account. This is a dumb argument, but I need people to weigh in. I, Mel, 42, have a cleaning lady who comes every other week. She's super hardworking, really nice, and I completely trust her. She comes while I'm at work, and I get to come home to a clean house. The best feeling. One time she told me that she'd drink a can of Pepsi from my fridge and even asked if she should pay me back. I told her she 100% has my permission to take a break and eat/drink whatever she needs while she's here. Since she'll occasionally have a pop, a glass of juice, or once she asks for a piece of toast, she's never helped herself to any meals, snacks, or anything beyond that. My girlfriend, female 38, was over the other night, and she said she saw my cleaning lady stealing from the fridge. I told her she wasn't stealing, Lowell. She has my permission. And she's definitely not sitting around being lazy. She was taking a break. My girlfriend said it's weird, unprofessional, and said this could lead to a boundary crossing. I told her I've known this woman for 2 years and nothing like this has ever happened. Girlfriend thinks I should fire her before it gets worse. Am I wrong for thinking, why change something that's been working completely fine? Am I being weird? Update. She hung up because I still don't understand her logic. So there's an update to the story. Let me click on that. Am I the asshole? Girlfriend and cleaning lady drama. Okay, wow. I had no idea a silly debate between me and my girlfriend would blow up like this. I talked to her and she said she thinks it's weird that my cleaning lady can grab something to eat or drink. She said it's better if she brought her own stuff. I was like, the woman who goes to multiple clients a day? She can't be carrying a whole suitcase of snacks on top of the vacuum, mop, and everything else. And it's not like she's raiding my whole fridge, so who cares? My girlfriend said it makes her uncomfortable. Then she asked why I even needed cleaning lady when I live in a two-bedroom, and told me to just be an adult and clean your own place. She said I don't need a cleaning lady to mommy me. I was like, she's not mommying me. She's a huge help, and my place looks amazing after she leaves. Then she said, when we move in and get married, the cleaning lady has to go because she doesn't like strangers in her house, and that I need to get off my ass and do my part. I told her that I don't get her logic at all. She doesn't charge much. I can easily afford her, and my house looks great, so what's the issue? She kept on going about how I'm being lazy and acting like a man baby, and she said that I should act like an adult. I told her I'm 42, and my 40th birthday, I hired a cleaning lady as a gift to myself because I want my free time to relax, and I'm not changing that. I honestly have no fucking clue what your problem is. I just don't get it. She hung up, whatever. I'm honestly too old for this shit. I'm going to bed. Thanks everyone. Final update. She texted me that she can't waste her time with a lazy man who'd rather give full control of her house to a maid instead of getting off his ass to do cleaning the house himself. I told her best of luck. Looking forward to spend the holidays with my son this year in my very clean house. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, I don't see an issue here. He can afford the maid. It's giving work to someone. No issue, and especially that he's treating the person he's employing right by just letting her drink stuff or eat a piece of toast every now and then. I think that girl might have been a bit jealous, maybe. But I'm gonna read the top comment of the update post. Quick question: was marriage even on the table before this? Okay, well, that's gonna be the end of the video. Thanks for everybody that watched, if anybody watched, and goodbye.